Hello friends. Are you okay? Today's video will be about the most dangerous drug dealer in the world that you must know. Yes, we are talking about Pablo Escobar. Who is this person and what are the most famous actions he did, and how he started the drug trade? All of this we will see in this video, but before the start of the video, do not forget to support us by subscribing to the channel and activating the bell button to receive all new updates. Let's get started. Pablo Escobar, also known as the Teacher, was born in 1949. He is a Colombian drug dealer who plunged his country into a spiral of violence that claimed the lives of thousands of people. In an attempt to impose his control on the drug market, he made a huge fortune from this trade, which made him chased by many from the security and intelligence services in the world, until the Colombian authorities killed him in 1993. Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria was born on December 1, 1949 in the Colombian city of Rio Negro, to a farming father named Abel de Jesus Dari Escobar, and a mother who was working as a teacher, Himilda Gaviria. He married Maria Victoria Henao in 1976 and had a son named Juan Pablo Escobar and a daughter named Manuela Escobar. Escobar dreamed of wealth since his childhood, and therefore he was cut off from education in adolescence due to the deteriorating financial situation in which his family of 9 members lived, to be caught up in the streets of the city of Rio Negro, where he began his first steps in the world of crime by stealing tombstones and violence for theft. When he reached the age of 22, specifically in 1971, he joined the gang of the dangerous Colombian criminal, Oscar Bernal Aguero, who involved him in the crimes of forgery and selling betting game cards, stealing luxury cars and selling smuggled cigarettes, in addition to daily fraud in the streets of Medellin. His strong physique and criminal practices made him a popular commodity that gang leaders tried to entice to work for themselves, such as the Alvaro Briato gang, and in 1972 he managed to kidnap an influential figure in the city of Medellin and then released her in exchange for a ransom paid by her family, estimated at $100,000, which is the amount that allowed him to develop his influence in the world of crime and drug trafficking. In the mid-70s of the 20th century, Escobar dominated the drug trade in Medellin, Colombia, surrounded himself with hundreds of loyal friends and relatives with precedence, and called his gang the name Sicarios. Escobar took advantage of the geographical nature of Colombia, which covers 2/3 of its area with forests, for the benefit of his activities, as he forced the peasants to change their activities related to the narcotic coca plant from cultivation to agriculture and manufacturing by concentrating dozens of secret random laboratories, in which they convert the plant into cocaine dough. With the assistance of experts in chemical laboratories. With the prosperity of his trade, Pablo Escobar developed the means of transporting drugs to the United States, which he considered an ideal market for cocaine, by using planes from Colombia to Panama, and from there to American states such as California and South Florida. His planes carried the equivalent of 11 tons of drugs per flight, which prompted him once again to develop distribution routes and logistical capabilities appropriate to the prosperity of his activities. In the mid-1980s, he supervised the manufacture of 2 remotely piloted submarines to deliver shipments. The Medellin gang and its leader, Escobar, now control many drug trafficking and distribution routes in the United States, Spain, Mexico, the Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Puerto Rico and other countries in Europe, and there are reports of his network reaching Asia as well. In 1992, the number of judges assassinated by Escobar's gang reached 70 judges who tried to prosecute him in the murders and assassinations that he stood behind in his battle with power. In 1989, the number of drug plantation workers and gang members reached 750,000, and the Colombian security services considered him responsible for 80% of the quantities of cocaine traded in the world, which brought him annual profits of about $6 billion in return for distributing 350 tons of cocaine annually. As for the year 1991, the Colombian authorities chased him, then negotiated with him and persuaded him to surrender himself in return for their commitment not to extradite him to the United States of America and to sentence him to a reduced prison sentence of 5 years while allowing him to build his own prison to serve the sentence, which he actually did by building a prison he called Naming the Cathedral. It is a luxurious and comfortable residence for the king of cocaine, Escobar, from within which he supervises the conduct of his criminal activities, organizes indecency sessions, and also receives his friends and family. And after the police imprisoned him because he was accused of a lot of murder and drug dealing cases, despite that, Escobar managed to escape with the help of a policeman, as he was receiving a lot of money. With the interruption of the information artery that was represented by the traitorous policeman, Escobar became isolated from the movements that monitored him, and on the 2nd of December 1993 a phone call he was making was monitored, and as a result the units carried out a raid on a house in the city of Medellin that led to his death with 2 bullets, one that hit him in the back and the other penetrated his ear. To end the Cocaine King's career. As a conclusion, we conclude that greed is an intense feeling of greed and an intense desire to possess more and more wealth and property, regardless of the means by which it is obtained. When this feeling is excessive, it may lead a person to resort to immoral or illegal actions to achieve his goal of becoming rich. In the context of a dream about becoming a rich person, this greed may develop to the point where a person takes wrong and destructive ways to get rich quick. One of those destructive ways that is common is drug addiction. The misperception of wealth can be what drives the individual to use drugs, as he thinks that this will bring him the happiness and psychological comfort he craves. But he soon discovers that he has been deceived. Drugs don't offer the glowing sweetness of riches, they bring addiction and destruction with them.